Between 1946 and 1956, a collection of over 980 unique manuscripts were found in 11 Qumran caves located on the northern shore of the Dead Sea. Known as the Dead Sea Scrolls, they were dated back to between 300 BC and 100 AD and are considered one of the most significant finds in archaeological history. There is one scroll among all these texts that seemed to stand out from the rest and is known as the Copper Scroll. Unlike the other scrolls found in the cave where the text is written on papyrus or parchment, the text on the Copper Scroll is written on, well, copper mixed with around 1% of tin. There's some debate as to the dating of the scroll, but most scholars have agreed that it originated somewhere around 70 AD. Another characteristic that makes it stand out from the rest is that while the others are written in literary Hebrew, the Copper Scroll is written in a form of Hebrew that is more similar to the language of Mishnah. This scroll is also not a literary work like the others, but rather has a list of 64 locations where items of silver and gold of large weights can be found. The general structure of each of these entries goes like this: the general location of the treasure, followed by the specific location, and then the distance needed to dig, and finally the treasure in its weight. For example, one of the entries is, in the pool which is in Beit Hakaram, as you approached on its left side, buried 10 cubits and 62 talents of silver, talents being units of weight for the gold and silver. There is also an entry in the end that states, in the subterranean shaft that is on the north side of Kurlit, its northern entrance, there are buried at its mouth a copy of this writing and its interpretation and their measures, with a detailed description of each and everything. It is hard to estimate the value of the treasure, but it is thought to be worth well into the tens of millions of dollars. Multiple theories have been proposed as to who buried the treasure and where it may have gone. One theory is that the treasure is from the first temple or Solomon's temple. However, the dating of the scroll does not match this theory. Another theory is that the treasure could be that of the second temple. However, there are historical records that suggest that the main treasure was still in the temple when the Romans arrived. But this theory cannot be easily dismissed, as some of the treasure could have been taken away from the temple to be buried in various locations before the temple fell to the Romans. It is possible then that the Romans found the treasure after taking the temple. Historical records suggest that the Romans were quite active in retrieving hidden treasure, and torturing captives to reveal the treasure's location wasn't off the table. One theory is that the scroll is a hoax, and the treasure never existed at all. The Copper Scroll is generally accepted as authentic, but whether the treasure exists now is a different story. As expected, there have been numerous attempts to locate the treasure, one of the most well-known led by an archaeologist named John Allegro in 1962. However, the expedition team came back empty-handed after excavating some of the potential locations for the treasure to be buried. So far, none of the treasure has been found, and the mystery surrounding the Copper Scroll remains unsolved. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this in the future.